Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhoundial. It is good to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, as we speak, there's a massive political earthquake that has shaken the state of West Bengal. The TMC, and as we speak, is under the control of a first-time TMC MLA, his name and staked claim to be the leader of opposition. Of 80 TMC MLAs, ladies and gentlemen, gave them the go-ahead, which means Rita is now the leader of the opposition in West Bengal's assembly. But, ladies and gentlemen, in a major twist, the rebels have named Mamata Banerjee as the leader of the party. Outside the assembly, the rebels claim that they are not trying to break and form a separate party. Listen in to what they said.
We have been accepted as the principal opposition in the 18th West Bengal Legislative Assembly. We want Mamata Banerjee to be our chief advisor, to give us advices. Two-thirds of them, more than two-thirds of them, has given our claim, and the claim has been accepted.
लेटर दिया अभी जो एलओपी का रूम है वो अलॉट कर दिया गया है. एलओपी वहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं. हम लोग चाहेंगे कि ममता दी हमारी एडवाइजर बन के रहे, हमें सलाह दे और हम लोग ये एलओपी और चीफ व्हिप को लेके दल को अच्छे से चलाए विधानसभा के अंदर.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the heart of the crisis is in the Trinamool lies the allegation that the party forged signatures of its own MLAs in a letter endorsing Shohabdev Chattopadhyay as the leader of the opposition. The controversy came to the fore after a complaint was lodged with the Assembly Secretariat by MLA Sandeepan Saha and Rita as well. But the signs have been ominous for the Trinamool Congress right after their election defeat. Last week, 60 of the 80 TMC MLAs had skipped a meeting at Mamata Banerjee's residence. Even yesterday, at Mamta's first street protest, only 8 MLAs and 6 MPs actually showed up. Is this, ladies and gentlemen, a case of rats deserting a sinking ship, or was there something brewing even before the elections? Now, all rebels are pointing to just one source as their problem, Abhishek Banerjee, who they say hired IPAC and ran it as a parallel party. His lifestyle, corruption charges against him, and then his alleged arrogance had miffed even Mamta loyalists. Did Mamata Banerjee's love for her nephew then blind her to the damage he was doing to the party? And what does Didi do from here on? Will she be okay taking on the advisory role that the rebels have now offered her, or will she go to court? Let me go straight across to our reporters who are joining us on the broadcast. Pooja, you're joining us live. Rajesh, you are joining us live as well. Pooja, are you hearing anything from Didi's TMC? What is her next course of action? Is she going to sit quietly and let things play out, or has she decided to go to court?
Well, knowing Mamata Banerjee, we don't think that she is going to sit quietly and accept and the principal opposition that has just been formed in the West Bengal Legislative Assembly. Knowing Mamata Banerjee, we feel that she is not going to accept this, and she might go to the court and also might come up with something new. But what we know for sure is that this is a sinking ship of the Trinamool Congress. Now, let us understand what really led to the party's state currently.
Pooja, can I quickly ask you then? Pooja, give me a minute here. I think we understand what has led to the situation that the TMC is seeing. But Rajesh, is there some sort of huddle at Mamata Banerjee's residence? Are we seeing any action at all in that camp?
No, there is no action so far. We have not witnessed any kind of course of action so far. Right now, I'm present in front of the residence of Mamata Banerjee only. But as my colleague Pooja has said, that Mamata Banerjee is not someone to sit quietly. Definitely, she will do something, and we are just keeping an eye on the actions of Mamata Banerjee. And there is only one way, or there are only two ways Mamata Banerjee may accept this, or Mamata Banerjee will have to approach before the court challenging the decision, whatever has been decided at the assembly today, because this is the first time TMC MLAs have rejected Mamata Banerjee's choice for the leader of opposition in West Bengal Assembly, because earlier the party had sent a letter to West Bengal Assembly Speaker deciding the LOP and Chief Whip and other deputy leaders on behalf of the party. But now, after this supports from the 58 MLAs, TMC MLAs, rebel TMC MLAs,
to be with the TMC at one point of time. What was that meeting about? Because that is fueling Mamata Banerjee's suspicion that the BJP has engineered this split.
Well, absolutely. This is what exactly Trinamool Congress Supremo Mamata Banerjee had categorically stated while she was protesting yesterday. But today, when West Bengal Chief Minister Shreya Dhoundial was holding an administrative meeting at the West Bengal Secretariat Nabanno, we've seen that the three districts with which he was holding meeting with, the officials were there, the BJP MLAs were there from Howrah, South 24 Parganas district and Kolkata. We also saw the rebel TMC MLAs who represent these three districts also participated in this administrative meeting. And what is more shocking is that the TMC MLAs from Mamta's camp, they were also seen participating in this meeting. For example, Firad Hakim, Naina Bandapadhyay and also Kunal Ghosh, who belong to Mamata Banerjee's camp, were also seen participating in this particular meeting held by the West Bengal Chief Minister Shreya Dhoundial.
Okay, we'll leave it there for the moment. Pooja and Rajesh, thank you very much for joining us. Everyone waiting to see what Mamata Banerjee will do next. What we are doing next is introducing our guests. Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. Shekhar Iyer is a senior journalist joining us on the broadcast. Good evening, Shekharji. Meeta Chakrabarti is spokesperson of the Congress party. Professor Monojit Mandal is a political analyst. He's in Asli TMC or Didi's TMC. I think he's in Didi's TMC. He can correct me if I'm wrong. Tausif Ahmed Khan, lawyer and political analyst. I don't think he has made up his mind on which side he wants to be this evening. That's
He's ex-TMC.
Huh?
That's right.
He is ex-TMC.
He
contested as an independent.
Yes, that is true.
In
But
the last assembly
Chalo, Tausif, then let me begin with you. Bhai, whose side are you batting on today?
As you yourself said, I have not made up my mind yet. But yes, given the evolving situation that we are dealing in, we will see where this leads us to.
Okay, okay, Professor Monojit Mandal, then, the first question obviously goes to you. The fact is you can blame the BJP for engineering this crisis within the TMC all you want, but the fact is that the signs were all there. It has just culminated into what has happened today.
So first of all, there is only one TMC, and there will always be only one TMC. That is Mamta's TMC. No one can deny that. And these traitors, I call them traitors, most of them are rotten oranges. And Mamta took long to understand that. Now I think by this time she has understood. And mind you, Abhishek Banerjee did not want to give tickets to many of these people. I think he rightly understood them. You might blame him. I'm saying this from the party's inside, so because I still have the connection with the party. I knew that Abhishek did not want to give these people tickets because of the corruption that they held, right? And that's why Abhishek also chucked out 74 sitting MLAs, including ministers. That might have backfired. That's besides the point. But he did it on the basis of the reports, the same IPAC that you are now blaming. IPAC has got many problems. But the same IPAC and Abhishek combination won you two successive elections, 2021 and 2024, 2 years back. All these traitors and idiots, rotten oranges, they're prostrating before Abhishek Banerjee 2-3 months back to get the tickets. I mean, look at this. I mean, you trust them, the people of Bengal will trust them. If they have got any guts, let them go and fight election on their own.
Okay, Professor Monojit Mandal, here's the simple question. You know, it is not a case of only Ritabrata, right? It is not just one. You can call him a traitor, you can call him a rotten apple, you can call him what you want, but right now he is the one who controls the party. He is the leader of the opposition in the West Bengal Assembly. It is not a case of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people rebelling. This is a case of 60 out of 80 MLAs deciding that they've had enough, and there is a point that they need to make.
I tell you one thing. You know, there is BJP behind it. We all know. But I don't blame BJP right now because BJP will do whatever it can. I blame these traitors and also to a large extent Mamta herself because she could not understand these people because of her credulity. right? I pity her. I mean, she has to reorganize this tragic moment to come back to the people of Bengal once again. Mind you, 40% of the people of Bengal voted for Mamta, not for these traitors, I tell you. And 95% of them have corruption charges. I tell you, if the BJP is honest enough, on another channel, Sandipan Shah, the person who was defeated by Sandipan Shah, she said that I gave documents of Sandipan Shah being a corrupt person. In fact, Toship was also
Professor Mandal.
Yes.
Professor Mandal.
Same entirely. Right? I was contesting against Sandipan. Yes.
He is a corrupt person. And I would like to see BJP going after this person because the documents were handed over by the defeated person, Ms. Priyanka Tibrewal. She said this on TV.
Professor Mandal, it is very good to, good to hear you talk about Abhishek Banerjee going after corrupt leaders and saying that all of them were corrupt. Therefore, he didn't want to give them tickets, but Didi was very gullible. Abhishek Banerjee. I mean, Abhishek Banerjee has multiple corruption charges against him. The ED was at his door today anyway. Let Sanju Verma come in. Sanju, kiya dhara to BJP ka hi hai, according to the TMC and according to Professor Monajit Mandal.
You know, Shreya, I'm no longer amused because if the BJP does something, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Hum kuch na bhi kare, even then it is the BJP which has a gun to its head. But let me put some facts out there for your audience.
Sanju, the fact is that the BJP has a history. Look at Maharashtra. आप ये कामों में आप लोग अच्छे हैं।
श्रेया, आपने मनोजीत मंडल को इतना कुछ कहने दिया, आपने उनको इंटरजेक्ट नहीं किया। संजू वर्मा ने बोलना चालू किया, आपने मुझे टोक दिया बीच में।
बोलिए हाँ।
I'm not going to play the victim, but let me make some points for the benefit of your audience. When 60 out of your 80 odd MLAs do not listen to you as in Mamata Banerjee, you as in Didi, it means 75% of the TMC legislators have lost confidence in the leadership of Mamata Banerjee. If Mamata Banerjee cannot hold her flock together to now cry and blame the BJP, I think that is stretching one's imagination too far. Point number one. Point number two, जो लोग कहते हैं BJP की history है, the Eknath Shinde matter, because Eknath Shinde took away 73% of Uddhav Thackeray's MLAs and formed a new party. The Supreme Court upheld the fact that the anti-defection law did not apply to Eknath Shinde because more than 73% of MLAs voluntarily left Uddhav Thackeray's party. Shreya, please, facts are very tough to digest, but let me finish. Let me say one thing very clearly. Abhishek Banerjee कोई दूध के धुले हुए नहीं हैं. Be it the cash for job scam, be it the hawala racket, be it the coal scam pertaining to IPAC, be it the recruitment scam, Abhishek Banerjee has his finger in every corrupt pie, which leads to the doorstep of the TMC. This is my second point. My third and final point is this. I always say that in a party, there has to be a binding glue. That binding glue could be a very strong ideology. That binding glue could be a common minimum program by way of an economic agenda. It cannot simply be the lust for power. BJP is a party with a very strong ideological foundation. And you will see that not too many people are abandoning BJP. It is able to keep its flock together. What is the ideology of TMC? It is basically an Ayaram Gayaram party where the lust for power was the only binding glue. Now that Mamta Banerjee lost her own seat, a humiliating defeat from her bastion in Bhawanipur, what happens? It's not the rats leaving a sinking ship. It's the smart ones realizing that we need to now abandon Mamta because she's lost her grip on the party.
Okay, Professor Mandal, you can respond to that. Tausif, you can come in after that.
First of all, mind you, Ritobroto is an expelled TMC leader. So technically, I don't know whether he can become the leader of the opposition of TMC, as he's claiming. That's
but he's an MLA. But he's a sitting MLA.
Yeah.
On a TMC ticket. A first-time MLA on a TMC ticket, by the way.
The moment, that's the only election that he won. That's because of Mamta Di, unfortunately so, right? Now look at this. Look at the chronology. 70 of the 80 MLAs attended the first meeting. There's decided on Shobhandev Chattopadhyay, all puts up their hand, and even the speakers, on the day of election of the speakers recognized Shobhandev Chattopadhyay, the Honorable CM recognized Shobhandev Chattopadhyay. Both of them held the speaker's hand to, take him to the chair of the speaker. And now suddenly this forgery case came up. I mean, people can understand what is what, but again, I'm not entirely blaming BJP because that's BJP's job. Everyone knows. Why trusting these idiots and traitors? I'm calling them on TV, right? They're traitors. They have got no power of winning election. If they have any power, either let them go for election or I challenge Ms. Shreya, wait for the next elections to happen. If let them win without Mamtadi's name and without Mamtadi's symbol.
Tausif, are the rebels traitors in your eyes?
On TV.
Tausif, are the rebels traitors in your eyes?
Shreya, it's a very interesting question. If anyone purchases ticket by giving crores and crores of rupees and then wanting an opportunity to recover that money by breaking away, would you still call them a traitor? Where does the corruption start? Did the corruption started at the point when you took money and then give them the ticket? Or when they saw that the party has lost and now breaking away? So it's a very, very, very interesting question. I leave it to your viewers. But I would want to answer what Sanju was saying. Sanju said that Mamta is no more leader of Trinamool. That's wrong. Mamta is very much the leader of Trinamool. People identify the party with Mamata Banerjee. It is a different case that now the MLAs, for their own sake, or for whatever reason they are not happy with Abhishek Banerjee's leadership, they are breaking away. But the leadership, you cannot snatch that away from Mamata Banerjee. She's a mass leader. Second point, every corruption under TMC leads to Abhishek Banerjee is what Sanju is saying. Then what was BJP doing for all these years? We have been waiting. Please take action. Please arrest him. But you have not arrested Abhishek Banerjee. You have arrested the ministers. Partha Banerjee was arrested. Chatterjee was arrested. So many other leaders were arrested. But never did the ED come with at the doorstep of CBI come with the doorstep of Abhishek Banerjee with the arrest warrant. Therefore, the question again is back on the BJP. Why were you, if you knew, then why were you sitting idle? Thirdly, she says that now those who are breaking away from party, they are not the rats leaving the ship, but the smarts one who have realized that the party has lost the win. So you are in a way shielding those who have lost, who have broken away. Therefore, you are accepting your part, BJP's part in helping this breaking away. Please answer this, Sanju.
Yes, okay, Sanju, that's a fair point, and that's a fair point also because there have been visible meetings between the Chief Minister Shubhendu Adhikari and the rebels. It happened today, it happened yesterday also. So if the Chief Minister of a state is going to be meeting rebels of, the opposition party, people will put two and two together and say, yehi kar rahe honge.
Shreya, on a lighter note, I'm waiting for the day when on your show you will say, fair point made by Sanju Verma. आप हमेशा ऑपोजिशन को बेनिफिट ऑफ डाउट देती हो कभी बेनिफिट ऑफ डाउट कीजिए मैडम बट एनीवे okay, on a more serious note, I just want to answer with facts. I don't believe in this, tu main rhetoric. Shantanu Sen, he resigned from his position as spokesperson of TMC. BJP ने कोई धमकी नहीं दी थी शांतनु सेन को. Arup Chakrabarti, former national spokesperson of TMC, resigned, saying he is disillusioned with Mamta Banerjee. कोई ED CBI case pending नहीं है against Arup Chakrabarti. Raj Chakrabarti, former MLA, resigned. कोई ED CBI case pending नहीं है against Raj Chakrabarti. Then Manoj Tiwari, former cricketer turned politician, not our BJP's Manoj Tiwari. He left TMC saying he is disillusioned with Bhaipo and with Didi. Then let's talk about Abhijit Majumdar, not the journalist Abhijit Majumdar, but former TMC's Assam president. He resigned saying disillusioned with Mamta Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee. Then there are reports now that Yusuf Pathan is likely to resign his MP seat from Berhampur, and there are three more who say we don't want to be with TMC anymore. One is their Howrah MP, Prasoon Banerjee. The second is Jagdish Basunia, the TMC MP from Kuch Behar. And the third is Partha Bhaumik, the TMC MP from Kolkata region. Prasoon Banerjee के खिलाफ कोई ED CBI केस नहीं है. Partha Bhaumik के खिलाफ कोई ED CBI केस नहीं है. जगदीश बसुनिया के खिलाफ कोई ईडी सीबीआई केस नहीं है. My limited point is this entire narrative. Oh, ईडी सीबीआई के डर से लोग दीदी को छोड़कर बीजेपी में आना चाहते हैं. No, Riju Datta is not on the show today. I've had many fractious debates with him. He said he was intimidated and asked to blabber every gibberish and reckless allegation against BJP on national TV. Finally, he decided enough is enough. So, Mamata Banerjee, there is something called karma never forgets an address. And karma hasn't forgotten your address. आपको आपके खुद के MLAs में आईना दिखाया है.
Professor Monojit Mandal, the fact is it's not just these 60 MLAs who have rebelled and taken away the party from Mamata Banerjee. The fact also is that before this, 100 TMC councillors have also quit. So things are happening one after the other. Can you put the entire blame on the BJP seriously?
No, I'm not blaming BJP entirely. My limited point, would they have quit had TMC won? The answer is clear, no. They would have prostrated for the same Abhishek Banerjee's house to get a berth for ministry. I mean, what are you talking about? You're talking political morality. They are unauthorized political prostitutes. I have to say this.
No. Why do you say that?
I mean, this is
Mamata Banerjee used to be with the Congress party. She also broke ranks and formed her own party. People all over this, political parties all over this country have the right to break away and form, different parties.
Yes, not after winning elections on the ticket and within a month, not even a month after the winning election. Let me tell you, example of Shubhendu Adhikari and Mamata Banerjee. Shubhendu Adhikari at least had the morality to quit the MLA post before resigning. Look at these people. If they are so moralist, corruption, Abhishek Banerjee, why don't they quit the MLA post? They won the MLA ticket because
Professor Monojit Mandal, what an odd thing to say. Expecting morality in Indian politics. Meeta Chakrabarti.
Yes.
Meeta Chakrabarti, please get real. Meeta Chakrabarti, can I ask you how the Congress party is viewing what is happening in the TMC? आप खुश हैं या दुखी हैं?
Dekhiye, good evening, first of all, to all your viewers and to the fellow co-panelists as well. Karma is a very funny thing. You never know when it catches up with you. There was a time when Mamata Banerjee was the Youth Congress president in the state of West Bengal. Then came 1998 when Mamata Banerjee broke away, formed this party called Trinamool Congress. And then over the past few decades, there had been n number of Congress MLAs, Congress MPs that Mamata Banerjee sometimes under the fear of investigating state investigating agencies or by giving them some offers had actually poached them from the Indian National Congress Party and had taken them to TMC. Now the same thing seems to be playing out for the TMC MLAs. Do not forget that a large number of TMC MLAs, if not all, a large number of TMC MLAs have charges of disproportionate assets, have charges of corruption against them. So I find it as a student of politics and not just as a spokesperson of the Indian National Congress Party, I find it very hard to believe that there had been no pressure on them, there had been no logistic operational support from the ruling party in the state of West Bengal, from BJP, and that all of this is happening in a very natural, organic fashion. I find it very hard to accept.
Okay.
Number two, Mamata Banerjee also does need to do a lot of self-introspection. See, we are part of the opposition party. I joined the Indian National Congress Party at a time when the Congress was not in power in center, not in power in the state. And yet I joined Indian National Congress because of my ideological commitment, because that's the ideology that I can relate to the most. And I'm a very proud Congresswoman. But today when I look at TMC, I look at their leaders, I look at their elected legislators, I look at their karyakartas, I look at their workers. Shame on them if they do not have the power, the tenacity of doing opposition politics.
Okay.
They had 80 MLAs, they had close to 40 MPs, including Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Why are they so desperate?
Well,
was it only a
no, but the fact is they are not joining
enjoy the benefits of
But Meetaji, they are not joining the BJP. They will continue to do opposition politics only.
Did you hear Ritobrato Banerjee's press conference today?
I did, but go ahead, make the point you want to.
Instead of highlighting the areas where they are going to counter the state BJP government, he highlighted 3 areas where BJP government has done, according to him, a fantastic job, and congratulating him.
Wow.
I did not know whether I was listening to a BJP spokesperson or to a TMC MLA. And also, please, another little point. If you look at Mamata Banerjee's history, I hope you know the serious charges of sexual offences that are listed against him. So we have a leader of opposition who has serious charges which have not been investigated,
Excellent,
which have not
excellent.
been closed as far as my knowledge goes.
Sanju Verma, congratulations. You have a B team in West Bengal, it seems.
B team? I think they should be the A team.
Go ahead. Sanju, very quickly, then I have to go to... Then I have to go to Shekhar Iyer ji. Please, Sanju, very quickly.
You know, Shreya, Congress spokespersons can come and howl, you know, rave and rant on national TV. But politics mein jo jeeta, wahi Sikandar. We want 208. Shreya, cannot tackle this woman. Please ask her to keep quiet.
This woman, she's a fellow panelist, a respected guest. Chaliye, complete your point.
I need to finish my point, Shreya.
Sanju, this woman, her name is Meeta. She's a Congress spokesperson. She's an honored guest on this show. Please, let's be respectful of each other. Go ahead.
Yeah, so then you should have intervened her when she told me, "Thodi to sharam karo." आप जैसा बोलोगे आपको वैसा जवाब मिलेगा.
थोड़ी तो शर्म करो is not as bad as this woman. Anyway, Sanju, let's complete the point and let's move on. Yeah.
Yes. You know, I will, you know, not apologize for saying this woman. It's not offensive, but I will just say one thing, Shreya. Congress won how many seats? 2 seats out of 294. BJP won 208 out of 294. Wait a minute. With a strike rate of how much? 71%. BJP won 22 out of 34 seats where women contested from. That is a strike rate of how much? 65%. BJP won 8 out of 11 seats in Kolkata region. That is a strike rate of how much? 73%. BJP won 67 of the 84 reserved seats. That is a strike rate of how much? 80%. The limited point I'm making is BJP has won across age groups, across caste groups, and across every geographical dimension. So any Congress pravakta coming and giving bhashan and saying sharam to karo, अरे आपके राहुल गांधी को शर्म आती है?
अच्छा भाई अब इसमें राहुल का क्या लेना देना? Wait, Sanju ji, हर चीज में राहुल. But the fact, I think the larger point you are also trying to make is the fact that the BJP does not need these 60 TMC MLAs. So if if the logic of Mamata Banerjee is that it is the BJP that has engineered this split, then fact is the BJP doesn't need the numbers. They have enough and more of their own. But Shekhar Iyer, I want you to come in here and just give me a perspective. Many people are comparing what is happening in West Bengal to what happened in the state of Maharashtra, whether it is the NCP or it is the Shiva Sena. But I'm just thinking to myself, look at the Shiva Sena, right? There was an Eknath Shinde there. Look at the NCP. There was an Ajit Pawar there. In this case, there is no one the stature of an Ajit Pawar or an Eknath Shinde. There is just a first-time TMC MLA who actually has its roots, political roots, in the left. Then for me to think that he could have managed to do this all on his own, he could have managed to convince 60 MLAs to come on his own side, that to me is a little fishy.
Well, Shreya, I don't think you can compare what's happening in Bengal with Maharashtra. What is happening in Bengal is what an average Bangla person would say, horrible. The complete collapse of a party which was held by power, by fear, by crime syndicates. This is like a Bollywood film last part, when you have 10 minutes of the film left, crime syndicates fighting one another, syndicates fighting one another, and finally the police arrive. That kind of situation. And I am waiting for a day when Mamata Banerjee will disown Banerjee. And why are people, Trinamool leaders are returning money in villages? And what did the BJP MLAs say as soon as the results came? There were so many common people who were asking them, where do we deposit our money as we used to do previously? I mean, you can endlessly talk about, what is happening in parties or how politicians are chasing power. But this is the reality. And why were we blind to that reality? Why is Firad Hakim is leaving today? And why are these syndicates? And even before, in the run-up to the election, you saw a lot of intra-Trinamool violence over collection, over money. And, you saw how many crores were hidden in, were dug up. And why are villagers angry? Are they BJP? I think it's far more than that. I mean, it's far more than that. I mean, something terribly rotten was going on for 10 years in the name of fighting BJP, in the name of upkeeping secularism. Total nonsense. And that nonsense has got revealed today. Okay. I'm not talking whether these people who are leaving or who have formed the group, they are self-seekers or not. That's a different debate. But what are people are going to think? But this was the damn thing called Trinamool Congress. What else was it? And in other states there is corruption. But what is that kind of corruption? What is the normal corruption you say in states? There are huge projects, there are contracts, and money is taken as commission. But what was happening here? Poor vendors had to pay. Poor vendors, because you had nothing coming. There was no industries, nothing. So all you had to do was collect from poor people. Can you imagine poor roadside people who are selling vegetables, chai dukan? They are going and saying, where do we give our money?
Tausif, Didi is paying for her own sins. You can blame the BJP as much as you want to and Shubhendu Adhikari as much as you want to. But Didi is paying for her own sins is what Mr. Iyer is saying.
I partly agree with what Mr. Shekhar Iyer is saying. You see, because I contested this election myself and against Sandeepan Saha, one of the leaders who is now from Intali Assembly, there were allegations of corruption against him with evidence. And a BJP candidate was presenting it. And people knew when I went to the voters and I spoke to them that, look, please give me, I did not speak about anybody else, but for myself. I said, please give me vote. I'm an independent and a very clean person. You can try me out. You have given votes to others as always. And what were their reactions? They're like, no, if I give you vote, BJP will come to power. This is the kind of, the kind of campaign that Trinamool had been running. Each and every voter, they knew if they voted anybody other than Trinamool candidate, BJP will come to power. Now that BJP has come to power, the people of Bengal have this open field. They really have to decide whether they really want to reject the politics of corruption. They want to reject the politics, the communal politics. They want to give vote on the basis of candidates, or will it always be on the basis of party supremo? On one side you had Mr. Modi, on the other side you had Madam Mamta. Both of them had said that, including Mamata Banerjee had said that I am the contestant in all the assembly constituency. Don't look at the candidate's face. Look at me and give votes. So this has to end. You have to really look at the candidate.
No, Tausif, that is in an ideal world. And we don't live in an ideal world. But since Mr. Mandal is smiling, I will give him 10 seconds and then wrap this show. Mr. Mandal, please accept on the show that what has happened with the Trinamool Congress, it's unfortunate for Mamta Banerjee given the fact that she's the founder of the party. But the party is now no longer in her hands. Will you agree with that? That the party has slipped away from Mamta Banerjee's hands? Will you at least agree to that this evening?
You see, definitely this is the most difficult period in her life, this most difficult time. But the party remains because of the workers. I mean, the real test will be there when there is another round of election, right? I mean, the MLAs are elected because of the workers.
That will happen 5 years down the line.
I'm not going to...
For the next 5 years, the party is not Mamta Banerjee's. Will you agree to that?
No. There are elections in next 6 months, big municipal corporate elections within 6 months, including Calcutta Municipal Corporation, within 6 months. That will be the first test. It is difficult to write off someone like Mamta Banerjee. Mind you, she doesn't have any ideology, no charisma, according to Ms. Verma. But the same Mamta Banerjee decimated the longest left regime in the world, mind you, single-handedly. You had been with the same Mamta Banerjee for 10 years. She was the minister in Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government. BJP had ties with Mamta for 10 years. So I mean, let's 15 years she ruled anti-incumbency, corruption, nepotism. I accept all those charges. But to write her off because of this election, I think that's quite far-fetched. Let's wait for the next election.
No, I'm not wiping her out because of the elections. I'm not wiping her or anyone off right now. Because as I always say, Indian politics is not, is not for beginners, and you never know what is going to happen next. But for the moment, as we speak, Mamata Banerjee has lost the TMC. You agree, or do you not agree?
No, I don't agree with that. They are calling that Mamta our leader.
They have given her an advisory role.
All of them are saying that Mamta is our leader.
नहीं, ये तो बोलने के लिए होता है. ये तो Sanju Verma wants to come in.
Yeah, that's
ये तो बोलने के लिए होता है.
That's a strategy.
They have offered her an advisory role. She's the leader of the party now. She'll be in an advisory role. Will she accept it? Sanju, go ahead.
Shreya, I just want to make one point. Siddharamaiah has been in the news now of late. Today, D.K. Shivkumar took oath as Chief Minister. We all know that Siddharamaiah left JDS in 2005 and joined Congress in 2006. People change parties, people change ideologies. But in the case of Mamata Banerjee, there is a term called outsourcing. She had outsourced the Trinamool Congress to an entity called IPAC. And she had outsourced the day-to-day working to Bhaipo. And that is what has proved costly. So Mamata Banerjee has no one but herself to blame. So अब रोने से कोई फायदा नहीं है क्योंकि अभी the horse has fled the stable.
Okay.
We'll
leave it there for the moment. Thank you very much. I think everyone waiting to see what Mamata Banerjee does next. Can she go to court? And even if she does go to court, on what grounds? Given the fact that 60 out of 80 MLAs have broken away from her. We'll leave it there for the moment. Sanju Verma, Shekhar Iyer, Meeta Chakravarti, Professor Mandal and Tausif Ahmed Khan for joining us on the broadcast. I'm slipping into a quick break. There's more news on the other side. Do stay with us.